Good morning, this is Jack Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 8th of May. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, yesterday morning I was talking about the possibility that we might be forming head and shoulder patterns, and we actually completed the head and shoulder pattern on ES, broke down and rejected. And the target after a rejection like that is a retest of the high. We've almost made it. Might have actually made it on ES. No, we're still a little bit short. But I'm expecting to see that high retest. And as I was saying on the daily chart, that high retest that will give us some negative divergence and get my favorite daily sell signal break. All right, NQ, the same. Head and shoulders formed, broke down, rejected. Haven't quite made it back to the high yet. RTY, it didn't break down, but we're almost back to the high in any case. YM, we're already back to the high, but of course we're not back on dire until it delivers that high at the open. I'm expecting that very much to see that today. DAX, we've broken down below the nice rising wedge support. Looking for a little move higher here to retest this high. It's really not a lot higher. I've got that just a little higher here, but I'm expecting to see, and we're so close here, we should really go back and retest the high. We don't need to retest the high on DAX necessarily on the futures, but we do need to retest it on the RTH. On that also could give us a sell signal here, but only a potential weak one. ESTX, not expecting to see a retest of the high there. Okay, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, the key thing here is, now obviously we've seen, when I was talking on Monday about a retracement and then a retest of the high, I was talking about the possible RSI 5 sell signal that would be brewing if we did that. And that would be a great way to finish off this rally if it is going to finish off, but at the moment I'm not really seeing any reason why it won't finish off. I'm looking for a test, ideally, of the 200 DMA. I've got that at 57.47 at the moment. And if we look at the SPX chart here, I've got this trend line here in about the 57.55 area. This is the one I drew in on the 17th of April, and this is the level I would like to see this reach. We haven't reached it yet. It doesn't necessarily have to reach it. Just to retest this high, reasonably strong finish today would give us a really nice sell signal break. And it may be that would be enough, but I'd really like to see it tag this trend line to sign off nicely. Qs, exactly the same. Retest the high, we get an RSI 5 sell signal break. Now, but we do need to see a really reasonably strong finish today across the board. A hard fail in the middle of the day, which didn't give any increase in RSI today, would deliver a very weak and uncertain looking divergence. So it's not enough to retest the high. We also need to see a reasonably strong close today, ideally at the high or a little higher. We'll see how that goes. On the Qs, again, we've already hit the trend line I wrote in on the 17th of April. We've seen a slight overthrow. Ideally, we wouldn't go above that, but it's okay if we do, but it might mean that I need to move the trend line around. Which would be okay. I'm not vain about these things. Dire, again, retested the high, nice RSI 5 sell signal brewing. We're testing the 50 DMA at the moment. None likely to see a huge move up to the 200 DMA. That would require quite a large move at the moment, so that's almost at 420. On the dire chart, this was the trend line I posted on the 17th of April, and we've already hit it. We've still got a potential head and shoulders forming here, but I think looking at dire overnight, I'm really not expecting that to be an issue. I'm expecting to see the full retest a little higher, and then we will see how it goes. All right, let's have a look at IWM. IWM, we've got, again, retest the high, and we're looking good to decent looking daily RSI 5 sell signal, and we will see. IWM, we've got a move up here. Ideally, we would get up to this. That's actually looking quite a long way away at the moment. We missed. This is the trend line I drew in. It wasn't on the 17th of April. It was slightly afterwards. We've gone through this trend line here. That could still be a bearish overthrow, and this could still be the trend line. But ideally, we'd get up and reach this trend line here in the 206 area. We'll see. So again, we could get RSI 5, decent quality RSI 5 sell signals brewing across the board. Looking at DAX, DAX very close to a retest of the all-time high here, and I'm thinking that will deliver. Nikkei still leaning towards seeing a test of the 200 DMA at the outside here, but it doesn't need to reach it. Okay, let's have a look at DX. DX, we've got an IHS here which is broken up, and we will see how it goes from here. But I'm still quite liking this target here up in about the 101.7 area. On ZB, we broke down from a head and shoulders with a target in the 113.20 area, and we will see. I'm quite liking the move down. Not seeing any particular reason to think that won't deliver. So if we have a look at the bigger picture chart, hang on, wait a second. Bear with me a moment. Right, if we have a look at the TNX chart, we were forming we've got, and that's fixed now. We've got an RSI 5 buy signal which is fixed. I'm expecting to see a little more upside on here, which is suggesting we're looking for some more downside on ZB before really anything else happens. I've got to say that it's a very attractive target, and there's no particular reason to think that we're not going to reach it. Okay, great. CL. CL, we've got, we had a series of IHSs here. I was saying on the bigger picture video last night that I'm wondering whether we're looking at an overall bear flag forming, and this would be A, B, C. We've got a daily RSI 5 buy signal fix on oil now. And we've got a possible IHS forming. If this broke up, this would have a target in about the 66 area. We will see how that goes. On NG, I was expecting to see a retest this high. We have almost seen it, and I'm expecting to see it, and then a decision will be made as to whether this is going to go higher or fail here with a nice looking level top. GC getting pretty close to a retest of the high. Saw a pullback yesterday and overnight, and I'm leaning towards this being a bull flag. Certainly, if we retested this low here, it wouldn't be the second low. Double bottom, it would be too large. SI. Looks like an overall bullish consolidation or flag or triangle forming. Palladium has broken up a bit here. It's broken over declining resistance. Not sure how significant that is. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed here, and that's pretty much reached the possible near miss target now. On platinum, we've got a 60-minute sell signal, and that's also reached the possible near miss target. HG, we've been forming very slowly our head and shoulders here. I was saying on the bigger picture last night that this probably needs to break down in the next 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, the right shoulder will start looking very disproportionately large compared to the left one. But at the moment, this is still pretty nice, and they would have a target back at the lows here, and that's kind of what I'm expecting to see. All right, let's have a look at KC. KC, we've got week 60-minute buy signal fixed, and we've got we had a head and shoulders breakdown here, and that head and shoulders has failed. We could be forming potentially an alternate, but I have to say the first one was pretty good, and it doesn't look quite right for that. I'm leaning towards the upside here. Obviously, I might be mistaken. Key area here is the monthly pivot. Break and convert that, and then we could head to the downside. But I've got to say, that wouldn't be the obvious direction from here. On sugar, we're seeing a bit of a rally here, on the weekly chart, there's a huge head and shoulders which is broken down here, and it could potentially deliver a lot of downside. So I'd be very wary long here. On CC. No current divergence worth the mention. Still got a double bottom here, which may well deliver. So I'm watching this 9500. So this could be an overall bear flag forming though. So keeping an open mind on it. On wheat, I'm still wondering about a retest of the of a low here at 495. 50. On corn, we retested the low here, and I'm wondering if it will go lower, but it could find support here. On soy, we've been forming a head and shoulders here, and did that finally break down? No. So we haven't had a breakdown on it. It's quite a nice looking head and shoulders. If it does break down, it would have a target at about the 1005 area, and really that's the direction I would be expecting soy to go in. CT, I'm still waiting for a retest of this high here and very possibly higher on lumber. We have been trending down. We've got a tiny bit of positive divergence here, but it's not even the level I'd be marking in. I think this is drifting down towards the 550, 560 area. We'll see what happens there. On live cattle, no current divergence, no particular reason to think this is about to reverse hard. On lean hogs, we have a head and shoulders here, target in the 95 to 90.55 area, and we will see how that flows. But I'm quite liking this target, and it's failing to make get any traction to the upside. Overall, could this be forming a bull flag? Yes, very much so. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap, guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow.